to collect everything in the game requires probably 3 playthroughs. I did 4 because I made poor decisions at one point. But at the end of the final playthrough, I believe I have collected everything. And we are ready for the final ending. And along the way, I found some interesting things, such as, if you recall, when we save Dollfriend, she says she'll help out with the next boss fight, and gives you a book. That book can be used to get the tree key, which lets you outside into the garden, and you can then go complete the garden and bring Dollfriend to the garden boss. That actually makes the boss harder. So it's probably advised to bring her to the water boss anyway. Also of note is if you go in with only a sword to the garden boss, you will, or she will change her attack pattern based on that and fight a fair, gentlemanly duel. I've also gotten considerably better at parrying, and I can pretty consistently take out most enemies at this point. I think a lot of the issue that I had with parrying was height and direction. It's not just a matter of, oh, you have to be defending and then get hit. You have to be defending in the direction the attack is coming from, which is not necessarily towards the enemy. Also, as someone in the comments pointed out, you can actually get in the hot springs. You just have to take off all your equipment in order to do so. And getting in the hot springs slowly heals you. Very slowly heals you. I think it's like 1 HP every 3 seconds or something. And that brings us here, where we have pretty much everything that there is to get. Yeah. So I have every modification. And in order to get the final ending requires at least 2 playthroughs. I don't know if there's enough money in the game to get it into, but it does require at least 2 playthroughs because you have to buy every mod, but you have to take Dollfriend's leg in order to get this final mod. Mods do carry over into the next playthrough, so as long as you give Dollfriend her leg in the second playthrough, then you can have her saved at the end.
Welcome.
We also have every weapon that you can purchase, and every dress that you can purchase, of which the white dress it becomes available after you've beaten the game once.
Yeah.
There are then the rewards for beating each boss. The Dollmaster gives the Devil Coin, which lets you into the roulette table, so collecting all of those outfits does require the second playthrough. Beating Edmiston gives the Teeth Stone and the Hammer. The Teeth Stone gives you access to the crossbow and the straitjacket. It also gives you access to the fishing rod, but the fishing rod does not carry over into future playthroughs. So if you purely want completion, you don't need that. However, we do still need the hammer.
Oh, yes.
Beating Edith gives the javelin, which is a weapon that you can use, and the glass orb, which seems to revive you when you die. Beating Flora gives you the iron armor and the sword and shield. This is armor and a weapon. So this is 2 playthroughs worth of content here that you need. And then the Iron Thorns, which I have not yet seen.
Yes.
Beating Albertus gives the HMG, and the Cherub, which does not carry over into future playthroughs.
Yes.
So the Iron Thorns is probably the spike attack. That's pretty good, actually. It does go away, so you now no longer have it. Oh, it's a little Albertus. This is also an item that goes away after use, and does not carry forward into future playthroughs. Now, equipment-wise, weapon-wise, the sword, blunderbuss, single pistol, machine gun, magnum, shotgun, like pump shotgun, and longbird are all something that's just unlocked in the shop. The crossbow you have to find after the Teeth Stone, and the hammer you have to buy, as we just did. The spear you have to buy as a boss reward. This is a boss reward. The sword and shield, the bear traps, is a reward from the roulette wheel. The twin pistols is a reward from the roulette wheel. The HMG is also a boss reward. So we've seen these already, but let's go ahead and show off all of the weapons. So then we have the sword. The sword then, which does let you parry, but if you don't parry right away, your guard goes down. So you have to parry in anticipation of an attack, not just as a blanket defense. This is a much more powerful revolver. And the pump action as well is much more powerful. The pump action mostly comes from its fast reload. However, reloading it properly does take an amount of time, longer per bullet. Same thing with the Magnum. So the crossbow is our reward from before. And now I have no ammo. So you have to walk over and collect the ammo again. In order to reload. This does mean you can't really run out of ammunition, and you can buy more from Pull. Now the Longbird uses magnum bullets. It is not double-barreled, it fires one shot at a time. So it's two, and then you have to reload. It is, however, a fairly quick reload, and you get 2 shots before you have to reload, which I think at least tells me that this is probably better than the Magnum. And then we have the hammer. It only does the overhead. You can block with it, though the block is very short. So if you're very good at timing your block, this is probably better than the sword. Though the attack is it has more of a wind-up and takes longer. So I imagine it does more damage as well. And then the spear, which you throw, does not have a guard. If you press the guard button, you poke with it. If you press the attack button, you throw it and then have to go collect it again. The bear trap I already showed off. Well, I'll show it off again, I suppose. So the bear traps, you only have 2. Place them on the ground. They take a moment to open up. Your reload simply grabs the second one that you have. And you have to pick them up after use in order to use them again. They grab an enemy and will hold them still. They will not hold them still indefinitely, and they will not necessarily kill an enemy. The sword and shield is actually quite good. Its attack, I believe, is very similar to the katana's. And your guard keeps the shield out indefinitely. This is not a perfect block, though, as blocking something like this does not give you the option to parry. And the more you block, the redder your shield gets. If it gets too red, your guard breaks and you get forced to take a step backwards. So if you're very good at parrying, then or at least reasonably good at parrying, I believe the regular sword is better. But if you do want to take advantage of the ability to just block for a while, the sword and shield may be better, but do keep in mind the disadvantages of it. And then, last but not least, I realized I equipped the twin pistols, and then unequipped them. So this thing takes forever to reload. Will mess stuff up. It's two-handed, and you cannot run with... Well, you can run with it a little. Oh, that's one of the mods that I have that lets me move while holding heavy things. Otherwise, you wouldn't normally be able to run with it. And then the twin pistols if you just want the pistols, but more. Pretty quick reload. It effectively is just a double magazine for the pistol. I've attempted to fight a couple bosses, sword only, and I am not confident that you can beat the Edmiston. I mean, maybe. It just doesn't do a lot of damage to Edmiston, so you will take a large beating before getting to his second phase. His second phase you can absolutely beat with the sword only. Edith, Water Boss, I am not confident that you can beat sword only without Doll Friend's help. If you have Doll Friend's help, you absolutely can. Flower Boss is absolutely doable, sword only, and I think the final boss is doable, sword only. Take a look at some of the outfits, though. So we have the doll outfit. The doll outfit gives 15% defense, and makes it so you are less likely to be detected by enemies. Your military outfit, which also gives 15% defense and makes reloads a little faster. We have the Hydra outfit, which I believe also gives 15% defense and lets you run in water. I figured out that's exactly what it does. Without the Hydra outfit or unequipping all equipment, you cannot run in water. You're forced to walk everywhere. Which isn't really the end of the world, actually. Since I discovered that you can sword the underwater enemies, it's not a huge disadvantage to walk through, since you can kill those enemies and then just mosey about your way at your own pace. The leather outfit gives 40% defense. No other bonuses that I know of. That I can remember. I'm gonna miss some stuff. I'm sorry. The nurse outfit, which I think also gives 15% defense and makes healing with medkits more effective. We have the radar outfit. This one is, I think it gives you defense of some kind, and the eyeball will change color. The little ping coming off of it will change color depending on if there is an item or enemy nearby. If there's an item, it'll be blue. If there's an enemy, it'll be orange. Also, the little eye on it will open up and show a blue or yellow light inside. And it will point a beam towards the thing that is offensive to it. These don't all activate at the same time. The eye opening up is the first thing that will react at, like, the greatest distance. Then as you get closer, the ping coming off will change colors, and then as you get very close, it'll actually point a line directly at it. It does not point towards notes, only pick-upable items, such as puzzle components and ammunition. This is the new Master's Dress, which is, I think all it does is give additional defense. I think it's like 15% defense, and then an additional 10% defense per mod you have equipped. Or maybe it's 20 plus 10. So once you have all 6 mods, this is 80% defense. Oh, also, all of these, up until now, were purchasable at the shop. Just the regular shop. The bullet belts is the first one that you get, or is one of the outfits that you get from the roulette, and this means you don't have to reload. Just at all. So you can see it just pulls from your reserve. Especially with long reload weapons, that would be really good. We have the Black Nurse outfit, which I believe gives some defense, and melees heal you. I believe that is both hitting an enemy as well as blocking. I'm not 100%, but I think that's it. So, a way to heal if you're really good at combat. That one was, again, a roulette bonus. Then we have the Devil outfit. This is, again, a roulette bonus, or a roulette prize. I don't remember if this one gives any defense. Oh, there we go, finally went away. But if instead of a melee, an unarmed melee where you just punch enemies, it gives you a fireball. The armor is a reward for beating the flower boss. Gives, I believe, 80% defense, and makes it so you cannot run. Of course, I have a mod that lets me run. And then lastly, there is the straitjacket, which I don't remember if this... I don't remember if this, or how much defense this gives you. But you cannot equip a weapon, and all you have is your charge. Yeah, that's it. The, reload does nothing. When you're at low health, however, the straps will break, freeing your arms, and giving you a whip attack. So that is all of the armor and all of the weapons.
Yeah.
As far as modifications go, we have magnetic fingertips, which draws in tooth wheels nearby so you don't have to walk directly up to them to get them. There's a pretty good distance. And it has auto-aim. I'm not actually sure of the efficiency of auto-aim. Maybe it just makes the range of which you can hit something a little better. The quick strings, this is kind of a back step. Activate with the special button. I'm not actually sure what that is. I have not used that yet. Skin lacquer, just flat 10% defense. Pretty good. The elusive makeup, which lets you change your appearance at mirrors. I'll show that off in a moment. Gear implants, some things become a lot lighter. I believe this is what lets you run while holding heavy things or having heavy armor on. And then lastly, the wrist blades, which you had to unlock for Elisa's leg, which makes your unarmed melee damage greater. Which you can even see as these little spikes on my hands. And then as for the elusive makeup, so periodically throughout the game, there were mirrors that you would look in, and Alisa would say, "I don't look so good." Once you get that, you can go to those, and they're usually near save points that let you change your appearance. I feel like more are going to be added, or I haven't checked. Maybe there's some DLC for some or something. But the game, by default, comes with the Eastern dress and the Christmas outfit. And just recently, for Halloween, Bloody Mary and the Ghost were added. I think the Ghost is probably my favorite. So all that's left at this point, having collected everything, we have every modification, and we have saved Alisa. Ellis? Ellis. We are Alisa. Is to go fight the final boss again.
I'll show you power.
So the final boss, what I've gleamed so far, the Doll Master, is that the Finger of God will corrupt anybody who comes into close contact with it, anyone who's around it. And there was an experiment where a number of people were all exposed to it, a number of probably kids were exposed to it, and they all died, couldn't make it, except one who then went missing. And I think that's the Doll Master, who has effectively become a voice for the Finger of God, so to say. So in the ending here, now, you are immune to the Finger of God and its influence. Not really sure why, but you are. And Dollfriend also is. So that's 2 that are immune to it. Which is why he's asking, how can you resist the power? We're resisting the corrupting influence of the Finger of God, and we are willing to fight back against it, even blow it up. The explosion at the end doesn't actually destroy the entire building. It only destroys that top layer and the Finger of God. And, the Doll Master, because we jammed it down his throat. So, we then retreat further in. At this point, we have also embraced the tooth wheels into ourselves, making us a doll, just like every other. But we are now in a commanding position, having taken out the Doll Master and being stronger than the Finger of God itself. So we are the new master of the dolls. What does this imply? Especially for the future of the world? Who knows? But we're living it up. Getting the final ending here. I suppose you could say the prior endings were you had the tooth wheels put in you, which did turn you into a doll, but you were still kind of fighting against that. And that was the one escape ending. The next ending, then, is you had all of them. You just fully embraced them. And I think that is what led you to leadership. Is you own the tooth wheels now. And then the final ending, this one, is kind of just a variation on the previous one. A best ending, so to say, where not only have you fully embraced them, because the requirements for this are getting all of the mods, but also you have to save Dollfriend. And Mother seems to approve. Apparently there was also supposed to be a larger subplot of Dollfriend and Mother. And I think a lot of that ended up getting cut for time by the time the end result came out. But I'm curious what the intention was to have more going on with that. And you know what? Sure, I'll ship it. So anyway, this has been Alisa, Apologies if there was a delay in this video coming out, and apologies because there will probably be a delay before I can pick up another single-player series to replace this one. I have not had any time to prepare or get any of that ready because I've been busy beating this entire game 4 times. But this has been Alisa. Until next time, everyone.